Another day of Vlogmas. In today's video, I hope you really enjoy. I'm doing a recap, a review of 3 short stories that I actually finished this month already. I know, crazy. But if it makes you guys understand a little better, all of these I had started in previous months, if that makes sense. So short stories is just one of those things where I feel like you don't read in all one sitting. Like it's short stories, so you read it as you go, and I finished all of these finally. The first one that I want to talk about is Training School for Negro Girls. This is by Camile Acker. I'm pretty sure it's Camile Acker. I feel like the author did a great job of telling stories that were familiar, yet you could be on either side of the spectrums that were really revealed or experienced. And I love this because she focuses on mainly like DC. Like all this stuff is kind of sent, the writer herself is from the DC metro area. I cannot talk today. And it's very familiar is what I will say. I enjoyed the stories. Some of the stories are like, ooh, but they're so truthful and just real. Like, I don't know. I just thought it was a beautiful way of showing young Black women and all of the nuances, and some of it is disturbing or kind of hard, but beautiful nonetheless. This I would give 3.5 stars. I really did enjoy it, and I would look for more from this author, and I think it's a solid good read, especially if you're into short stories, which I now am. Now this one, out of the 3, I would say probably this was my most enjoyable. These stories were just delicious, like delicious. Oh my gosh, it's so funny when I do this. It kind of looks like one and the same, does it not? But this book was actually released in 2017, and I didn't read it. But it's What It Means When a Man Falls from the Sky, and it's a collection of short stories, and wow. Just freaking wow. You know how I said like short stories is something you could put down and then just pick back up as you go through? This one, it's like addictive. Like once you finish a story, you want to get to the next story because the writing's just that beautiful. This gave me more of like that fire, like that, I gotta read it to know the next story and to see where this is gonna go. And it literally takes you on these journeys. Like, some of the stories are just so freaking beautiful. One of the backs of the praises on this by Claire Watkins says it perfectly. A striking collection that will make the hair on the back of your neck stand at attention and your heart gasp in admiration. That's literally what this is. Like, from the first short story, you're taken on a journey and it doesn't let you go. Just beautiful and mind-blowing. One of my favorite ones wasn't even necessarily the most beautifully written, but the stories are just so unique. It was about a girl whose mother had passed, who suddenly shows back up in her life, and like her reckoning of trying to forgive herself and forgive her mother. And it's, I don't know, the stories are so intense. They're so intense, but so beautifully well done. And each story leaves you deliciously satisfied, but also wanting more. I'm scared of giving 5 stars sometimes because I don't want to overhype, but if I'm being honest, there's not one thing I would change about this. Not one thing. This is a 5 star. Just like that. Not one thing I would change. Now this one, I'm lying. This isn't really short stories. It kind of is though. It's an anthology. I don't know. This is where I don't know really, like, if you're being a purist, what classifies and what doesn't. For me, these were all short stories because they're all everyone's individual short little story about that sweet period in their life of falling in love with books. I've already fangirled over this enough. You guys know I purchased this. I had originally got from the library and was like, I gotta own it. I really loved it. I finished it. I love being introduced to all of the different writers. If you're not familiar and you haven't seen any of my other videos, this is an anthology of Black women writers. Gloria, Edim, she is the one who curated this, and she's the founder of Well-Read Black Girl, which has now become a festival, a book, and it's still a book club in Brooklyn. And she got some amazing writers together. You know, if you've read you're gonna recognize so many of these authors, and it's gonna be like, wow, this is so cute, amazing. But you're also, maybe if you're like me, we're introduced to a few. So I just love it. I thought it was well thought out. I thought it was a great resource. I thought it had a list of books, a lot of which I have not read, a lot of which I have, but a lot that I have not, that were mentioned. And I just love the thought process behind this. I think this, out of all the books, I think this would make the best gift. Like if you wanted to gift somebody something, this would be the cutest gift. And look at that cover art. How freaking dope is that? I really want to recreate this look. Anyway, if you've read any of these, please let me know what some of your thoughts. I'm most curious if you read What It Means When a Man Falls from the Sky, because is it me or was it freaking amazing? Anyways, love and light, and I'll see you guys in the next one for Vlogmas. Bye.